In today's video, we're going to be talking about how private jets are used as air ambulances or for emergency medical transport. Now, this is something really interesting, something I did in my early days as a pilot. So I'll be telling you some of the stories and looking at the various applications of how you can use a private jet for medical transport and that. So if you've never been here before on BizJet TV, welcome to the channel. This channel's a lot of content here about business aviation and how to use aircraft for your business. So subscribe to the channel. Also, you join the channel, you can become a special subscriber where you get access to exclusive content and the different levels of that. You can have a look at that. And also remember my articles in Avbuyer magazine every month. You can click on the link below to go to that. And I'm doing a whole series now on pilot owners. So my name is Fabrizio, Poli, I'm your aviation advisor. Welcome to BizJet TV. So let's get into today's episode about airplanes being used, private jets being used as air ambulances or for emergency medical transport. Now, private jets have been used for transporting patients and also organs, medicine, all that kind of thing. So this has been done for many, many years. There are some companies that specialize exactly in this, like Riga Air Ambulance, which is Swiss Air Ambulance, which is very famous. And that's just what they do. They have helicopters and jets and some turboprops, and they operate worldwide. And they work with a lot of insurance companies. And this is where most of this happens. If you're in a situation, you've had a ski accident or whatever, and you have to be emergency transported from where you are to a hospital, they can do this by helicopter, by plane, depending on the situation. And usually it's your insurance company which covers the cost. In particular, United States, where people take out health insurance, because without health insurance you won't get medical care. You have to check to see with your medical insurance if it includes transport by private aircraft or helicopter. If you end up in a situation where you're injured or wounded or had an accident or whatnot, if they will transport you with a private helicopter or plane. Now, I back in the day, my early days of flying, I was flying for doing quite a few air ambulance flights. Sometimes we flew organs, and when we did this, we picked up the doctors at one airport, flew to another airport. They went in, extracted the heart or the organ from the person, and then the same doctors had to then travel with the organ to the other patient and put the organ into the new patient. So this is interesting. I didn't know this. This is what had to happen. And a lot of these kind of flights would happen in the middle of the night. So I get a call like at 6 in the evening, air ambulance flight. We've got to go and pick some doctors up. And I remember one night I was in Milan. We had to go to Genova. We picked these doctors up. That was like just under an hour flight in a Turbo Commander. And then, actually, that was a Citation, that flight. And we flew the Citation up to Vicenza. The doctors went and got the heart from somebody, and then we flew them to Milan, I think it was, and then they put the heart into the new person. And that happened all throughout the night. And so you're sitting in the airport in the middle of the night, and you're waiting for the phone to ring, because as soon as the phone rings, they're saying they're on their way. You have to get ready with the airplane to fly, because you've only got so many hours for them to do what they need to do, because the patient on the other end is waiting. So it all happens very, very quickly. And this is why the private jet is perfect for this type of job. Other times I've flown people with broken legs and things like that from one location to another. And we were working at the time. We had a contract with, I think it was 5 or 6 different clinics, and they were feeding us the patients for the flights. In fact, the owner of the airplane was the owner of the clinics, and so we used his airplane to fly patients around. So that's what basically happens. So flying an airplane to transport people for medical emergencies is really good. Now, some of these airplanes are equipped with special equipment, like the Swiss ambulance people. They have special equipment on board. They have their own doctors, flying doctors, that are trained to treat people in the air, and that. Same with the helicopters. Others are just normal private jets where you have a doctor come on board with a patient or with a stretcher, or in the case of transporting a heart, it's in a box. So they just get on the airplane. So any private jet can really do that. But if you really want to kit out a private jet with all the medical equipment, that's something that some companies do, and then they would have a contract with the insurance company to supply them with flights. But this is quite a busy business. It's also lucrative. A number of people that have or are in the air ambulance business make really, really good money doing this. Obviously, you have to make sure that your airplanes are well maintained and that. You don't want the airplane to go tech when you're on an air ambulance flight. So that's really, really important. Also, it gives you credibility with the insurance companies. But yeah, private jets are used for medical emergencies. They're very, very effective. So are helicopters. And, you know, in particular, if you're going to do something a bit dangerous in a remote area, like you're climbing Everest, or you're trekking through the jungle, or even just skiing sometimes. But if you're going to remote locations, you want to check with your insurance company if it covers evacuation, special emergency evacuation with a private aircraft. So that's all from me here on this episode. So have you ever used one of these airplanes? Have you ever been airlifted out because of an accident with a helicopter or with a private jet, and how did it go? Let's get the conversation going. I'd like to hear from you on this one. And if you enjoyed this episode and you haven't subscribed, you need to subscribe to VizJet TV. And if you liked this video, give me a super thanks. And also check this other video out about the new Falcon 10X, which is coming out in the next few years. Very interesting airplane built by Dassault. And that's all from Fabrizio Poli here on VizJet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.